guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Maya Alexis and I am a senior computer science major. I have two AWS certifications. I have the Cloud Practitioner and the AWS Solutions Architect Associate. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I obtained both of those as a college student. Before I get into the details of how to study for your AWS certifications, I'm going to tell you a story about why I'm making this video in the first place. So when I first started to get familiar with AWS, I met this guy who was very knowledgeable about AWS products, and he assured me that I would be able to pass the Cloud Practitioner. He kept saying that the Cloud Practitioner was just like a vocabulary test and it was extremely easy. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to use my college experience and just like do a quick little breeze through study and then I'll just pass the test. So I studied for about 2 days and then I decided to take the test. When I took the test, I failed. After I failed, I realized something that may be easy for someone who's been like a software engineer for years, who's had years of AWS experience, may think it's easy. But to me, as a college student who had never experienced anything with AWS, that test was actually hard for me. So that's why I'm making this video, to try to give a perspective of a college student. You may be wondering, where do I even start? First, you need to decide, do you want to take the Cloud Practitioner or go straight into the Solutions Architect Associate? Or take both. The AWS Cloud Practitioner is foundational. It's $100, 90 minutes, and 65 questions. The Solutions Architect Associate is the more intermediate level. It's $150, 130 minutes, and 65 questions. When it comes to taking either test, make sure that you aren't studying the material to just memorize it. You have to actually know the material to pass the test successfully. One of the benefits of taking both tests is, once you pass the Cloud Practitioner, AWS gives you discounts towards your next exam. So you wouldn't pay the full $150, you would pay $75 for the Solution Architect. Or you could use it for another test. And if you receive a passing grade for the Solutions Architect exam, you get a 50% off discount towards another AWS certification of your choice. As a full disclosure, when getting these certifications, they are not a guarantee that you'll get a job. These certifications require you to actually have personal project experience. For example, I made a simple static website using a couple of AWS services after I got my certifications. They're not a golden ticket. You have to do more than just have the papers. When I was studying for the AWS Cloud Practitioner, here are some of the topics I wish someone had warned me to pay attention to the details of. The shared responsibility model, AWS support plans and the various services that each support plan provides, EC2 services, S3, IAM users, roles, and groups. When I studied for the AWS Cloud Practitioner, I only used two resources, a Udemy 6 practice test and AWS white pages. I will make sure to leave the link in the description so you know the exact test that I used and the AWS white pages recommended for the Cloud Practitioner. I only studied for the AWS Cloud Practitioner for about a week and 3 days. The Udemy tests were the absolute best when it came to studying for the test. I practiced 2 tests a day and would go deeply into the descriptions and explanations of all the answers, even if they were right or wrong. I initially scored low on all 6 tests, but as I began to study the right and wrong answers and practicing the tests, I didn't feel comfortable taking the test until I scored over 80s on all of the 6 practice tests. After taking the Solution Architect Associate, I realized the test actually wasn't hard, but the whole test is application based. It's centered around availability, cost efficiency, fault tolerance, and scalability. If you don't know what those are and what services you have to use for each, you won't do well on the test. When studying for this test, I had trouble telling the difference between some of the services because of their names. So make sure you break down each service and really understand what the services do, not just their names. Pay close attention to the storage options and prices, auto scaling groups, elastic load balancer, NACLs and security groups, and different types of encryption like server side and client side encryption. To study for this test, I used Udemy's 6 practice test again, but for Solution Architect Associate. It was $29.99, but it was worth it, trust me. They go into very detailed explanations and they provide a link to their website called Tutorial Dojos where there's a lot of cheat sheets, comparison sheets, and just a lot of information for the AWS services and breakdown of how they work and what they are. I'm a very visual learner, so this time I used some videos to kind of get a grasp of how to learn the different services and how to apply them. I used a website called A Cloud Guru, and they gave great explanations and visuals for the different services. I studied for the AWS Solution Architect Associate for about less than 3 weeks. I watched most of the videos in the A Cloud Guru course for it. I practiced 2 tests a day, reading all the explanations and answers, right or wrong, and I read through multiple cheat sheets and comparison sheets to kind of get a grasp of how the different services were similar and different from each other. Thank you for watching my video, and I wish you the best on your test. If you have any questions at all, feel free to DM me or email me.